I'm trying to be a good sport, but I didn't get my coffee in time. It's literally taken like a week. So I had to go grab this. It's too sweet for me, but the branding is cute and perfectly fits my kitchen, so. I'm traveling for work, which is why I'm vlogging. I feel like I've literally only been vlogging when I travel for work. One of my goals this year was I really wanted to travel for work every month. And so far we're 2 for 2. I traveled to LA in January, and then this week I'm going to New York for work. But anyway, this is like a really cool week because you're gonna get a picture of what it's like to be self-employed doing a variety of things. And I think it's like, at the end of the day, one of the things I absolutely love about my job is how different things are week to week. That being said, today is very much an admin day. I also have 2 incredibly cool meetings. One is in person. I don't know if I can say anything, but I am literally getting coffee with and that landed in my inbox. I was so shocked, but I'm very excited for that. And then I have another really cool potential brand partnership call later this afternoon. But before that, I need to get a lot of admin client work done. I'm onboarding a new client, so let's add another thing to the list. But I'm gonna go over to my co-working space so that way I can focus, lock in, put on real people clothes. I might get a little wild today and wear sneakers instead of snow boots because I just feel like I've hit my capacity for the month of wearing my snow boots. And then I leave to go to New York for 48 hours, and then I come back and have a few more work things in the city Thursday, Friday. So busy schedule. I'll take you along. I'm also hoping to make this kind of helpful as well and talk about like what I'm doing and that kind of thing, because I recently did an audience survey on Instagram and wanted to hear like, what do people have questions about? What do people want me to talk more about? And I got so many questions about my career, job, pivoting, building a business, all of that. So I'm gonna try to sprinkle that in. Got home from my little coffee meeting. I don't think I'm going to share the specifics of it yet, because there's not really like a takeaway from it. I feel like it's not the time to share, so I will in the future, and I'll do a callback to this specific vlog and be like, hey, remember when I teased XYZ? Like, that's what I was doing. Or I was supposed to have 2 more meetings today. One of them got moved, the exciting one. So I will be taking that tomorrow, right when I get into New York. I have to get like situated in my hotel and then take that important call. But I am going to, in the meantime, make some lunch, question mark? I guess it's considered lunch, even though it's like 2 o'clock. Get ready for the other call I do have, and then head to the gym for my Monday night routine, because that is my favorite part about Mondays, is I go and take a dance class. I went to make my lunch, and then I just got a text from what a Monday. This is the time of the day where I want to sleep. I've got about 10 minutes before my meeting starts. I figured I would do a little rundown of like exciting things that are in the works. / I might keep a few vague because I don't want to jinx anything. One of my big goals for this year has been speaking opportunities and like education opportunities. So I am literally like the week I come back from Amsterdam speaking in 2 college classes. It's like 1 college class for 2 different time slots. I'm really excited about it. And I'm also trying to narrow in on like what I want the talking points to be, or like what I want the theme of the presentation to be. I kind of want to do like a presentation, but then paired with
some sort of like kind of Q&A, more fireside chat. And one of the things that the professor had mentioned was kind of like college to career and that trajectory. And like, if you know me, my trajectory has been like a ping pong match, just all over the place. So I'm really trying to get a head start on that because I just feel like March is going to be here before you know it. Because this week I'm going to New York. The end of next week I go to Amsterdam. And then I come back and I have like a few days left in February and then it's March. So I'm trying to just like live in the present, but also realize that things are coming. And then, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to solidify things as soon as possible. I will be teaming up with a company here in Boston to put on an International Women's Day panel and networking event. Those are kind of like career builders, but I don't necessarily consider them like client projects or like work things because they're not necessarily bringing in an income. These kinds of opportunities are really interesting because they're not necessarily like impacting the bottom line of the business per se. Like sometimes I will make like a little bit of money here and there, but like they're not bringing in money at this point. However, there's sort of opportunities where like you never know where they're going to lead you and who they're going to connect you to. So they're kind of more so long-term plays. And I think if I've done one thing really well over the course of my career, and admittedly, this is something that has kept me not working 40 hours a week. I definitely work more than 40 hours a week, and I have since I started my whole career. But that is like knowing when to say yes to certain opportunities, even if they weren't paying, because it like got me into a room or it got something on my resume or it helped me build a connection. And I cannot overstate how important it is to get into rooms like that and to just sort of figure out how to network and build your career that way. Because I think more and more that has been how opportunities and clients and things have come to be. And it is solely through saying yes and being like, sure, like this feels like a good play, or like this isn't necessarily how much I would want to be paid, but then the next time I do it, I can get like the amount of money I want. It's definitely playing the long game, which is its own experience in itself, but all really exciting things. Literally one of my 2026 goals was to speak in some sort of like academic or classroom environment. It's happening, but I have to log on to this meeting. Hi.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. I was like, my sound's not working. We're off to a great start.
I swear sometimes I get to 5 o'clock and I'm like, where did the day go? I don't know. I'm only going to take one gym class today as opposed to 2. I'm really trying to be cognizant of the jam-packed schedule I have. My knees, for context, I'm going through an arthritis flare. Feel like I've been going through it for a month. So I kind of am like, do I just not call it a flare? And I'm just like dealing with my arthritis. That's probably the better language to use, but I feel like saying I'm dealing with an arthritis flare makes me subconsciously feel better because then in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's temporary. So I do need to get ready for that. But I also want to kind of get things laid out to pack. I would love myself if I packed tonight as opposed to waiting until tomorrow, because I know I'm going to want to film things when it's light out. So I think that would be the smarter decision. Will I do it? We shall see. Far too excited. Look what finally came. Oh, finally I'm gonna have like my go-to coffee cup because these are my favorite beans. A little behind the scenes of what I'm working on right now. I really want to get this TikTok for the Sniff account filmed. I work with them as a creator on their like TikTok and short form content. So we're doing a video and I would love to get it filmed now so that way I can edit it on the train. And it's just like one less thing on my to-do list. However, my apartment, like the front of it and the back of it gets light. The middle is pretty dark, so it's not like ideal for filming. So I always have a makeshift situation going on. And I will show you what we're working with here. So basically I'm gonna be opening this box and there's product in there and I'm doing like a bird's eye view. This is the top of a different table, but I wanted like a wood look as opposed to my desk is white, but behind the scenes of the magic. It's 9:30 and I think I'm gonna try to do a few little computer things. I'm feeling good about my packing. I think I'm gonna get a few things in order. I would love to record the voiceover for Dine Out Boston because then I can edit it on the train, but we'll see if I get to that. Anyway, I wanted to share a post I was tagged in on Instagram because I don't think I've talked about this here. I want to do a more in-depth something on this topic. I have always kind of felt like a bad influencer. And I never really set out to become an influencer because there's a lot of things kind of in the industry that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't love the consumerism that's associated with it. I don't love the like, buy this thing and you can live the same life as me, because I'm just like, this doesn't really work. I don't know. I've always felt like a little detached or like an imposter or that kind of thing. However, in the spring of last year, I kind of challenged myself to be like, what if I could redefine what that looks like and is? And I settled on maybe I can just influence people to get a library card or talk to strangers or like that kind of create my own version of what I could influence, or I don't even like the word influence, but more like empower other people to do. So I have a Try Hard challenge that I started at the top of the year, and it's basically just like try something new every single week for 52 weeks and see how your world expands, because I thoroughly and wholeheartedly believe that like the secret to a more fulfilling life is a willingness to get uncomfortable and try new things, because you never know where it's going to lead. And someone tagged me in a post about the Try Hard challenge. So she said, Maddie Boumet posted about the Try Hard challenge at the beginning of this year. The idea is to try one new thing every week for 52 weeks and watch your world expand. And then she says, but when I heard Maddie Boumet talk about this on her podcast, I felt an urge within me to do it. Gratefully, the urge to explore got the better of my fears. Even though I think she started the challenge on a slightly different note, this is how my mind chose to interpret it, and I'm extremely thankful to her to have put it out and to Instagram for making it reach me. And she basically like made a post of all the things that she's tried so far. So it's, I don't know, I just like so cool to know that like her life is being positively impacted by like something I shared or thought of or created. And honestly, like the discomfort of being vulnerable and sharing that on the internet paid off because it positively impacted someone. So that is super cool. I want to get a few things done and then we're off on the adventure to New York, which I'm very excited. Admittedly, I think this is the first trip I'm taking to New York for work in the past year where I'm thoroughly like so excited to be going. I don't know why, but I just am. We got it to close. I'm so tired of wearing this scarf. I'm looking for my phone and it's in my pocket. Okay, let's go. To the good cam for the room reveal because I did a quick little walkthrough and it's amazing. Okay, I have a corner room. It's like a little trippy, honestly. How cool is this? Like, whoop. Okay, wait for the best part. Are you ready? That is literally the Empire State Building. What? Anyway, I did decide to live on the edge and I do have a 4 o'clock meeting. It's 3:38, so I'm gonna make sure that the Wi-Fi is like working and all of that. And then we will reconvene. Actually, I have 2 back-to-back meetings. So, okay, I just put the magnetic mount working. Of course, this fan just turned on. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn it off. I'm feeling a little nervous for this call, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like when it's a potential client call or something like that, where I am prepped, ready to go, I don't get nervous. But when I don't really know, oh, thank God, the context of the call and like expectations or what we're gonna discuss, like I do get a little nervous, but I'm sure it's gonna be great. I do love that they have these like canned waters here. I've stayed at an Arlo. I stayed at the Soho Arlo. Okay, we're going in.
Hey Maddie, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? You guys. I'm like actually trying to not be emotional right now. First off, the first call I had was basically with an agency wanting to sign me. And then the second call is like an amazing work opportunity. I've been having this thought lately where I feel like my relationship had to end so that I could get like a second chance at building the career and life that I wanted. And this feels like proof. I'm trying to like keep it together, but I'm feeling very emotional and like pinch me. I got the Boston Magazine thing, didn't hear anything from them. They're not doing anything, so I might as well just like end it and see what this team wants. I need to post a TikTok and a reel. Okay, I'm gonna do that and then decide what my evening plans are.
So,
Houston, we have a problem. I'm a big fan of the brick. I do have a code if you are thinking of getting one and you want to save some money. I will put it in the description, but I really like it specifically if I'm gonna like go to the gym or something like that. And I was trying to experiment with really taking care of my sleep routine and getting more sleep. And so I have it automatically turned on at 9 p.m. but I don't have the brick with me. So I think I'm gonna have to I need to just turn it off. Oops. I just unbricked. I used one of my emergency unbricks. I'd love to be in bed at like 10:15. Do we think I can do it? My call time for tomorrow morning is 8 a.m. So I'd love to get a good chunk of sleep. I feel like anytime I'm staying somewhere, I'm always trying to figure out like, how do I put the blinds down? I don't know. Not me thinking it's a button and it's literally like the pulley system. It's 8:31. I just got back. I stopped for some food. At first I thought I was gonna record another YouTube video, but I just do not have it in me. You know, when you feel like you're just like a little too tired and you're just like, I need to like sleep. I think that's how I'm feeling. Tomorrow evening I have an event with BFF, which is like under the umbrella of Bumble. I'm working on a paid partnership with them. So that's tomorrow. Oh, before my evening plans on Friday, I am talking to a management company, which is exciting. I feel like I'm reaching this point where I'm really trying to figure out like where I want to take things, how I want to grow, because in one vein, I love like the strategy and getting to build something out and the thought of like having a team and that sort of thing. But then I also love creating and I love, you know, getting to work on and impact people through like my message and that kind of thing. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to ask them a little bit more questions because the initial call I had no idea what to expect. Like they basically were just like, we would be interested in signing you. And then they sent over like a trial agreement of what that would look like. And so now I want to kind of come back to the table with just some more questions and that sort of thing. So all good things, things that I would not have necessarily imagined. But yeah, I think sometimes I try to challenge myself with like what are like wild dreams? Because like some of the dreams that felt wild are coming to fruition. So how do we dream beyond that? I think if anything, this will be my last time chatting with you tonight. I just woke up and my train is canceled. We're gonna rebook and figure it out. We are rebooked for an earlier train, only by like 10 minutes. But it is not the Acela, so I get in like later. I get in at 12-ish, 12:06. Business is hard-boiled eggs, as one does. I'm gonna make my second coffee of the day, and then I'm gonna go deal with this. Tell me when you're stressed without telling me that you're stressed. I don't know how I took this entire handoff and then, yeah, come back and do some work after that, and then head to the BFF event at Alamo tonight. I don't think we've talked since I got my nails done. They're fine. Like I feel like this is my tried and true winter color. Anyway, I'm eating another round of hard-boiled eggs, which is probably not super healthy, but admittedly, I don't have a ton of food in my fridge. So I need to eat these before I head to the event. I think I already talked about the event, but it is with Bumble. I need to like, you know, you can feel your shoulders like up here. I need to just like bring them down, relax, and I'm so excited to work out in the morning because my routine has been a mess. But it looks like we are moving forward with a very, very cool, time-sensitive project, but like project that would be so good to have like in my canon of things I've done. So I will potentially maybe make a whole vlog of that entire process because I think it'd be cool to see behind the scenes. I'm gonna eat these. I'm gonna try to vlog here, but admittedly also I have to film like vertically because it's a paid partnership, so that's gonna take priority. So we'll see how it goes. Happy Friday. We have made it. This has been a marathon week. Like that sounds dramatic, but it's truly how I feel. It is almost 11. I've just been honestly catching up on sleep, emails, had a little dance party, you know, the usual Friday morning start to the day. I'm looking at the weather because in my mind it's really sunny out, so I feel like it's like 40 degrees. And it's 28. Oh, high of 35 though. I'm trying to figure out if I should get a little wild and wear loafers. First up, I'm headed to an event with the Lego group. They're doing a little pop-up activation. So I'm going to the creator sneak peek this morning. And then from there, I'm going to go to my co-working space because I really need to get things together because in 1 week I will be out of office, which is exciting and also terrifying to think about timing wise. But that is the plan this morning. And then we'll go from there. Oh my God. I just finished the call with the agency and I'm excited. I'm like a little nervous because I don't know, there's like this weird sense that I feel like I'm gonna need to perform, but I also really like that I'm gonna get strategy. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up the contract and